When thinking about what the most critical component of a healthy P&L is, I believe that there are two factors that need to be taken into account. The first is how mature is the firm? And the second is how reasonable is the firm being when it comes to growth expectations? So, when it comes to the maturation of a firm, there are two ways to start and grow an early stage firm. One is to bootstrap, and the other is to either take in excessive amounts of capital, whether in the form of loans or equity, and spend slightly more extravagantly. I have always erred on the side of bootstrapping. So being very, very cost conscious, nickel and diming every chance you get, at least during the first couple of years, to set a strong foundation. Because once you establish a firm that is slightly more liberal with its spending, that seems to carry on for that builds itself into the ethos of how that firm is managed into perpetuity. So understanding a healthy P&L is where are we in our life cycle, and are we really spending where we need to, and are we being very conscious? Now, the second is aspirationally, where do we want to be? Is our goal to have this be a lifestyle practice? And we're very happy with the client base and the revenue that we have today. We really just want to manage and keep our clients maybe at a few here and there. And therefore, we don't need to spend extravagantly. We don't need to go out and bring on a tremendous amount of resources. So making sure that we're just maintaining the level of expenses that we have today will determine whether or not our P&L is healthy. But for most firms, their outlook is we want to double in the next 5 years or some other timeline. So it's, are we spending appropriately now to make sure that we get out ahead of that demand? Are we investing in human capital? Are we investing in technology? Are we investing in partner resources, whether that might be in the form of outsourced resources? Do we have the appropriate amount of office space? These are all capital intensive expenditures that are going to drain a P&L, that are going to make a firm look and feel less profitable in the short term, but they're very strategic in nature. And the one aspect that's going to determine whether or not it's healthy is, am I being reasonable with my growth expectations? So I always ask advisors, think very, very deeply about where you see the firm in 5 years, or where you want the firm to be in 5 years. Because if it's, we like the status quo, we're in a particular point in our life where we've built this practice to accommodate our lifestyles, that's fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that. So we have to build and structure the P&L accordingly. But if it's, we're all in a stage in our life where, we have 25 or 30 years of runway left, and this is just step one of 10, then we have to understand that having a slightly below, or in some cases, a money losing P&L, but doing it in a very strategic way is actually okay. And it just needs to be managed and monitored accordingly.